So earlier today, I was looking on the Mario Wiki for information about Jamboree TV, which is basically the add-on for Super Mario Party Jamboree, when I stumbled across the news that Talking Flower already got a new voice actor, which I think is kind of crazy since Wonder only released 2 years ago. So Mick Wingert is being replaced by Patrick Seitz, which I think is pretty interesting. And I have nothing against the new VA. I think he sounds really good as Talking Flower, and I think it's funny that Talking Flower now shares the same voice actor as Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But at the same time, I think it's very bizarre that the voice actor was replaced this quickly. But this has been something that we have been seeing a lot with the Mario voice actors over the past couple of years. It seems like Nintendo is phasing out the older generation of Mario voice actors and replacing them with a newer generation that kind of coincide with a new era of Mario. Like most notably, Charles Martinet was replaced by Kevin Afghani and Samantha Kelly was replaced by Courtney Lin. It's just pretty interesting and just pretty weird throughout. I don't think it's all negative, because even though it's disappointing that the older voice actors are being replaced, the new voice actors are very good as well, and I think they've been doing a good job over the past couple of years so far. But I just think this decision is kind of strange. We've seen other shifts in the franchise before, like in the early 2000s, in the early 2010s, when they kind of shifted the direction of the franchise in multiple ways, but that didn't always directly coincide with voice actor replacements. So I think it's kind of weird that they're specifically doing it now with almost all of the characters. I wouldn't say all of them, since like Bowser hasn't been replaced yet, Kenny James is still voicing him, but it is weird that Nintendo is doing this decision now, and even though I like the new voice actors, I don't exactly understand this decision. Like, I can understand if Nintendo wanted the characters to go into like a new voice direction for the new era, and I've even kind of noticed that a little bit. But you don't have to replace the voice actors, or you don't have to replace that many of them at least, if you want the voice direction to change for these characters. And the weird thing is, most of the characters that I mentioned had the same voice actor for at least 15 years, if not 20 to 30 years, before they were replaced. But it seems like there's a couple characters that haven't even been voiced for 10 years, or even 5 years, that are already being replaced. And the thing is, I know in some franchises, it is very normal for voice actors to be switched out and replaced in a short period of time. The Mario franchise was even like that back in the late 90s and early 2000s, because like Bowser went from like Scott Burns to Kenny James in just like a matter of a few years. So that was kind of normal back in the day, but it seemed like things got much more consistent over time and things were kind of solidified with the voice actors staying the same over the years. So I just think it's really weird that we have been seeing like a lot of changes and a lot of inconsistency lately, like with characters like Talking Flower already being replaced. I don't even know what the explanation behind this is. Maybe Mick Wingert was busy when Nintendo was recording the voice lines for Jamboree TV, but at the same time, you would think Nintendo would be committed to Talking Flower having consistent voice lines and having a consistent voice actor, because, you know, the character is called Talking Flower. The whole point of the character is to talk. But to be fair though, I would say Talking Flower's voice lines in Jamboree TV do sound pretty similar to Mick Wingert's performance in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. And another case we've seen recently, just last week, was with Donkey Kong Bonanza, since Pauline has a different voice actor in that game. And to be absolutely fair, Pauline is younger in that game, so I could see why they wanted to have a different voice actor for that game, with Jenny Kidd. And I think Jenny Kidd does an amazing job at Pauline in Bonanza. I think she sounds really good in the songs. that she performs are also really good as well. But at the same time, though, I do feel like Kate Higgins could have worked pretty well as Pauline in Bonanza, since she has voiced other young characters in games before, like Tails in the Sonic franchise. So, just in general, I just think Nintendo has been very strange and inconsistent with how they've been treating voice actors lately in the Mario franchise, which is honestly kind of disappointing because they have been so consistent over the past decade and a half. And I honestly really want to hear an explanation about this. I know Nintendo loves to be silent and not even bring up these things at all, but I just want to hear a reason behind why they're replacing older voice actors or changing up certain voice actors in specific games. I would be much more understanding of their decision behind it if they did give us an explanation. But at the same time, though, I do feel like they should more respectfully send off their older voice actors, because what they did with Samantha Kelly for Mario Kart World was egregious. They only notified her right when the game was releasing. They should have notified her months in advance at least. So I definitely think Nintendo should be better about that. But anyways, even though I think this is a weird situation, I think the new voice actors are great. I think they are doing a great job as these characters, and I do not have anything against them. But anyways, those are my thoughts on this situation. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!